morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Oh my God, here we go.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, welcome to the Ron Van Dam Show. I am Ron Van Dam because my name's in the title of the thing. Welcome to the program. Thanks for being here. We're going to have some fun today. That's unusual. No, we always have fun, don't we? Come on, lie to me. Tell me that we do. For those of you who are listening to this program for the first time, first of all, I apologize ahead of time. Also, I've been doing this for 30 years, and yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. So good night, everybody. All right, that's enough music. Hey, whoa, what year is this? Wow, it's 2023. Get out of here. The numbers are getting way too high for my comfort. I'm still writing 1527 on my checks. I cannot get used to this change in calendar stuff. I can flip the page on the calendar, but I can't get used to the fact that it's like all the way up to 2023. That's like, that's a high up number. I don't like it. I do not like it. New Year's Eve to me is a dismal, horrible realization that I can't stop time. I've tried to stop time. The only time I was able to stop was my subscription to Time magazine. I was able to stop that. But that's it. I don't like this at all. I do not like this at all. Well, anyway, it's a new year. This is our first program of whatever year this is. I don't even know anymore. Thanks for being here. I don't know. It's dismal. I do have one hope and dream for this upcoming year, and I hope that you share in my thoughts and prayers. I hope that, this is a wonderful country. Yeah. Have you lived here long? It's a wonderful place. Incredibly strong military. Wonderful people, somewhat. Everything we're even with the inflation and stuff, we're still damn lucky here. Our dollar is strong throughout the world. There's stuff going on now that's never been better than before. This is a wonderful time. The problem is Congress and Washington. And I'm not going to get political. I'm really not. All I'm going to say is my hopes and dreams are that the two parties in Congress can get together on the first day of the new whatever this is and start working together. Stop trying to destroy each other, which is stupid, and start doing good stuff for all the citizens of this country. Yeah, we think differently politically, probably. One side of the aisle from the other thinks very differently. But the focus isn't them. The focus is on the good of the American people. Start doing good stuff for them. Stop denying them because you want to destroy the other political party and it may look like they did a good job. Cut that shit out. Right now. And those are my hopes for this coming year, that all of a sudden this country builds even better because we're getting along. Not the neighbors, not the people in the streets. They're all screwed up to begin with. I'm talking about Congress. United we stand, divided we fall. Let's stop falling. Okay, good. Now that I've said that, and like that'll make a difference. Let's proceed, shall we? I hope you have a wonderful year as well. so that when this year is over, next December 31st, you don't look back and say, oh, 2022, let's say goodbye to that year. That sucked. This is the first day of it. Let's stop that. Maybe next December 31st, we can look back on 2023, oh my God, already, and say, whoa, that was an incredible year. Let's do that. Let's try to do that this time around, shall we? And you people up in Washington, all the people that were elected into whatever position you have, keep that in mind, Do for the people that got you in there. Don't be vindictive. Don't be stupid. Don't lie. Don't be destructive. Don't be divisive. Don't be divisive. Peace, love. Remember that stuff? Nice concept. Let's see if we can pull it off. Okay, good. I've got allergies this morning. Thank you for the many cards and letters in reference to my allergy condition. I've had allergies all my life. I think I've told you this a few weeks ago. I went to my doctor many, many times, and I said, can you run some tests? Is it a food allergy? Is it pollen? Is it ragweed? Is it tree? Is it grass? Is it fur? Is it house dust? Is it spores? Is it pores? What am I allergic to? And the doctor said, Ron, I've known you for a long time. You're allergic to people. That's a problem. There are people all over the place. My suggestion is don't be around people. And I said, I like that. I like that as a resolve. Anyway, it's funny, but I think a lot of you are saying, Ron, I get it. I think you're right. Other people are saying, Ron, that's a horrible thing to say that people make you sneeze and make you cough. And other people say, yeah, that explains a lot. Anyway, I have an interesting guest coming up a little bit later in the program, and I hope you'll be there for that. I'm experiencing temperatures in the area in which I live that are extraordinarily high. Sounds like I'm extraordinarily high, but I'm not. I live in the Boston area. Save your applause. Wonderful city, nice place. I wasn't born here. I was transferred here job-wise. So, whatever. You end up where you end up. That's what I say. You make the best of where you end up. So that's where I am. Temperatures have been in the high 50s and even inching into the 60s at the end of December, between Christmas and New Year's, 60 degrees. What? What's happening? Breaking records on January 2nd, January 3rd, January 4th, breaking heat records in Boston, in New York. It's a tad concerning. Of course, it's going to get cold after that, but it's just, I'm wondering what's going on. I'm wondering, and I can't call anybody. There's no weather. I can't call my local meteorologist and say, what the hell's going on here? They just report the weather, sometimes accurately, sometimes not. Weather reports have become a lot more accurate. They're able to tell if there's going to be a storm 7 days later. That's pretty good. They're always wrong about when the storm starts. They say, it's going to be, we're expecting about 10 inches. Well, it turned out to be 20. So, you're wrong there. And your timing was off. But otherwise, you're a nice person. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know how they do that. I don't know how you know what weather is coming up. I don't think it's a scientific thing at all. I think they hire some clairvoyant or something like that. So I don't know. I don't know how they do this. Someone's maybe a supernatural person. They lock them in a room and what does the future hold for next Thursday? Rain, Bob. It's going to rain. Thank you. These are Salem witches that they're hiring, apparently, because otherwise, how would you know? Yeah, I knew a woman who was a psychic. She was on the same radio station that I was on, and I had known her from a television program that she had done and I had done separately, but we met each other accordingly. And she claimed to be psychic. And I never believed in that stuff. Because I'm not psychic. I have no idea what's going on. I'm the opposite of psychic. I can tell the future. I don't even know where I am now, so I'm not on the same level as you. But they claim that they can see things, that they can sit down and read people, and I can't read anybody. I mean, I can read them, but I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I can be talking to somebody and figuring out if they're a good person, a bad person, if they're smart or stupid. I can read that really, really well. But then all of a sudden they sneeze, and I did not see that coming. So I'm talking to the psychic, and we're not arguing. She knows that I'm skeptical about that stuff. I think some people are just really in tune and can read people's expressions and pretty much very quickly get an idea if they're a nervous type of person, that kind of thing. Beyond that, I don't know. I directed and wrote a motion picture about, what was it? It's about 12 years ago now. And it was called Better Days. And in that movie, I wrote a scene about a psychic, because I tend to write scenes about things that I experience, as we all would. And it was about a psychic and about this girl that was just been dumped by her boyfriend, and she was trying to find herself, although all the time she was right there. I can't find myself. Have you looked under the cushions of the couch? There I am. All these people trying to find Jesus. Look in the couch. That's where everything is. Anyway, so yeah, she was trying to find herself, to start a new life after she'd been dumped by her boyfriend, that kind of thing. So she went to a psychic to find out, like, what does your future hold? And the psychic goes through this list of things and says to her, let's see, you have a dog, right? No, I don't have a dog. You have a cat, right? No, I don't have a cat. You know somebody who has a dog. You're right. You're incredible. How did you know that? You're planning a trip to Florida in the near future, aren't you? No, I'm not. No, I don't know. I'm not planning a trip to Florida. You know someone who lives in Florida, right? That's right. How did you know that? It's that kind of thing. That's what I think psychic reading is. You say a bunch of things, but the one thing that you say has a certain ring of possibility. That's the one they harp on. How did you know that? You were wrong on everything else, but how did you know the one thing that you said was going to happen at May? And you're right. You're amazing. That'll be $300, please. How did you? Wow. Did you know that it was going to be $300? Yes, I did. That's what I charge. That's amazing. How did you know that? I think what psychic people do is they hit upon the gullible. I think that's what it is. They search out the gullible, and those are their clients. Did you know that the earth was flat? I didn't know that. That's amazing. I did not know that. The life of a gullible person. Oh, God. They always think that you're trying to make them out for stupid, and then you go out of your way to say, no, I don't think you're stupid. I just think you're gullible. I don't know what that means. It's because you're stupid. Anyway, so I say to the psychic, she's a wonderful woman, and I say to her, she really is a nice person. I say, she wants peace and love for everybody, and she says that's why she's a psychic, to help people through their lives. So, I mean, okay, you've got a good reason for doing this. Whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna give you a hard time. So I said to her, if so many people are psychic, why don't police departments hire these psychic people to find lost, missing children? She says, well, they do. And I said, well, no, actually not. They don't all do that. If there are real psychics, why can't we avoid these horrible things? Why can't we find these missing children? And her response is, because they weren't meant to. I don't even know what that means. That, that happens in life as a response to something, like, whoa, why do you think that you didn't get that job that you had an interview for? You did so well in the interview. Your resume is great. Why do you think you didn't get that job? I think it was because I wasn't meant to. I don't understand what you just said. You weren't meant to. Did you go to that New Year's Eve party? No, I wasn't invited. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You weren't invited? No, I wasn't meant to be invited. What are you talking about? You weren't meant to. What does that mean? It's a very, very strange explanation for absolutely nothing. When I was younger, when I was a young adult trying to find myself, again, I didn't look under the cushions of the couch. I could have saved myself a lot of trouble. I went to one of these meeting things. There were about 100 people in the room. I think I paid $20, $30 back then, which was a lot of money back then when I was younger. I was a motivational speaker, and I remember one of the things they said that to this day does not ring true. I mean, if you go to a motivational speaking thing, and through the whole thing, you're listening to the person speak, and you say to yourself, well, that's not true, then it's not working. The motivational speaker said, don't let anybody stand in your way. And I thought, well, that sounds good, but people do stand in your way. It's not that you let them. They're just in the way anyway. You can't move them. I really wanted that job, but they wouldn't hire me. Well, that's because a person stood in the way of you getting the job. No, I didn't get the job because I wasn't meant to. Oh, stop that. Just stop it.
Hello, this is Father Mike Slannery from the Our Lady of the Sacred Spatula Church here in town, and I'm excited to tell you about a thrilling new addition to our monthly Friday night bingo game lineup. In addition to classic favourites like Coverall and Four Corners, we'll now be adding Full Contact Bingo. That's right, Full Contact. That's where the friendly community game you love meets the hard-hitting action of football and hockey that you crave. Is Mrs. Smith about to call bingo before you? Hit her with a cross-check or crash her into the boards. I should mention that all full contact games will take place in the street hockey rink behind the parish function hall where the Our Lady of the Sacred Spatula Fighting Sons of Leviticus hold their matches. Protective gear is recommended and weapons are not allowed. And if you feel bad about taking out a friend or neighbour so you can win a few bucks at the bingo, I will be on hand to take your confession. That all starts next Friday night at the Parish Hall at the Our Lady of the Sacred Spatula Church, 27 Eucharist Way, right downtown. We'll see you there.
Pam Gaslow joins us now. She's written a new book. Ooh, Don't Bring Your Vibrator to Rehab, a somewhat comedic memoir. That in itself is a weird thing to say, Pam.
Do you want me to explain where I got the title from?
Yeah, I do, and I understand that it came from not you necessarily.
No, it totally came from me.
Oh.
Where'd you hear that rumor?
I thought it was something that was printed out in a thing, like not to bring certain things.
Well, yeah, but that
Okay.
I came up with the title.
Gotcha.
When researching treatment centers, they send you a list of things to bring and not to bring,
Yeah.
and so one of them said sexual devices. So I just thought that was funny. They also said teddy bears and other things. I was going to originally call it "Don't Bring Your Teddy Bear to Rehab," but I thought that Vibrator was much better.
Absolutely, there's no question about it. So it presupposes from the title that you went through this experience.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, and what brought you to what type of rehab was it, and basically what drove you to it? Because people are usually driven to things like that sometimes.
Well, it was just a basic rehab for drugs and alcohol, and I had been sober for about 8 years, and I relapsed with marijuana, which I know a lot of people say, "Oh, marijuana, that's not addictive,"
Right.
but it is.
It is.
And it led me to being very depressed, very hopeless, lethargic, and eventually vomiting regularly, which is some people have marijuana toxicity that smoke as much as I did. And it was at that point that I realized that I needed help and went to treatment.
Very cool. Okay. And then you went through this experience, and I guess it fueled something to write a book like this. As a comedy writer, you're writing all the time anyway. Is it different to write comedy, do stand-up, than it is to sit down and actually be comprehensive in a book?
Yes, completely. And that's really a good question. I like that question because for me, stand up is makes me very anxious. And, you have to be on with every sentence, and every sentence you say, pretty much every sentence has to be funny, or, and you have to be quick. And when you're writing it's so much less stressful, and you can sit by yourself and work it out and have time and think about it. And every single sentence doesn't have to be, make everybody laugh. Yeah.
Well, yeah. When you're doing stand up, it's also it's your the delivery, how you get, how you're communicating with an audience. A book is it's like there's no delivery. It's just words in a sentence. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I actually prefer writing because I can just do it, behind closed doors, and I don't have to be performing it. So, but a lot of people that know me say that I write the way I speak. So, obviously,
yeah, your comedy is pointing out the absurd. I've noticed.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what you do with the book. Were you going to write a book anyway, or did this experience kind of just spark itself into writing the book?
That's another good question. I like that. I wanted to write. I knew I needed to go to treatment, and I wanted to write about it. It was just something I wanted to write about, but I didn't want to need to go there. And so I went there knowing I was going to write about it. Yes. And I took notes daily, which is how I was able to, put all the details, and I never would have remembered it, but you're allowed to, have a notebook and write everything. So that's what I did when I was there.
Yeah. Was it a difficult experience? Was it something where you needed to do a journal and to have a purpose for it? Or was it something that you actually thought, this is pretty cool?
No, I thought it was cool and interesting. And I really wanted to get people to see what goes on, like inside a treatment center, because as well as it being, it's so many things there. It's so many emotions, it's sad, and it's revealing, and it's cathartic, and it's also funny, and it is absurd, and you're mixed together. You're thrown in a place with, all different people, like complete strangers, and everyone has their specific, reason for being there, and just all of a sudden you're all like best friends, and it can be it's a wild ride.
Yeah, I guess you moved to Miami where you had this not so great experience, I understand, relationship wise. And where are you now, like, as far as that's concerned?
As far as the relationship, or as far as
the relationship? Well, let's say Miami and the relationship.
It's funny. I love Miami, even though I write a story making fun of it. But I do love living here, and I think when I first moved here, I was just kind of lonely, and it was a new place. I literally moved here not knowing one person. So, and I had just, I'd been a little bit out of another relationship, and, I just, I think I was a little lost, but, now after going through all that and coming out the other side and being healthy again, it's just, it's a great place. It's a great place to live. And I'm really happy now. And I'm happy that I live here, and I made it through.
Yeah. It's an inspiration in a sense. One usually doesn't connect comedy to inspiration, but there is. It's you went through it and you came out on the other side, and it was a good experience, and it's pretty cool.
I think I just like to point out, like you said, the absurd, in anything, and it's just there, to make addiction's a really serious, heavy, sad topic. And if you can find the humor in there, because there are parts that are funny and things that, you do when you're stoned that are ridiculous, that, I'm not alone in doing them, and, pointing them out so we could all like laugh a little bit.
Yeah, I always find it interesting because we talk about the addictions of drugs or alcohol, whatever the case may be. But I've noticed in my life, that everybody's got an addiction. Some of them are not apparently dangerous to your health or anything, but we all have things that we obsess about so completely that we should all be in rehab.
Oh, absolutely. It could be anything. I mean, remember quitting cigarettes and getting addicted to sucking candies. I was like, well, this isn't good. You can't just be doing this now, or whatever it is. But yeah, anything that makes you feel good, I guess, or changes the way you feel can become addicting.
Yeah. So you're into writing now. Are you working on something else? You still doing stand-up?
I haven't been doing stand-up. I mean, there was a pandemic, and then I just... I enjoy it, but I prefer to write. Mm-hmm. So, I write a lot on Medium. I write a lot of humor pieces, and I'm contemplating my next big project. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I'm excited, though.
It almost sounds like, I don't know if anybody's mentioned this to you before, but it sounds like a movie. I mean, it sounds like it could be a kind of fun but yet poignant movie.
That would be fun. People have mentioned that. I don't know if it could be personally, but if someone does and wants to write it, that would be amazing. That would be exciting.
Yeah, it's just, even the title, I can see it on a marquee and people lining up just because of the title almost.
Well, it's funny because as of today, it's actually on a billboard in Times Square, New York City. So you're not so far off there. And unfortunately, I won't be there to see it in person because it's freezing, but
yes,
I'll get a picture.
Yeah. Well, you can't go out when it's too cold?
Well, I live in Florida, and because of COVID, I just didn't go up there.
Yeah, Florida is Florida is the butt of jokes now for kind of that reason too, I think. It's interesting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll be the first to make fun of Florida as well, so I have no problem. I'll make fun of anything. I don't care if I live here.
As long as they don't know your address, then get back at you.
Exactly, right.
All right, let's the book is called Don't Bring Your Vibrator to Rehab, a somewhat comedic memoir. She's Pam Gaslow, Gaslow. Is there a website we can visit?
Yeah, it's pamgaslow.com.
Well, that sounds simple. How'd you snag that one?
I'm smart.
Yeah, smart. you thought of putting a .com after it, and it worked out.
It's just, I got to keep it simple. You know how it is.
Very cool. So everybody, pick up the book. It's fun. But at the same time, it's you're going to get something out of it as well. And follow her and see what happens there. Pam, it's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you so much.
Looking for a fun night out? Check out that bar near your house, now featuring live entertainment all weekend. Friday night, it's one guy and a guitar playing 90s cover tunes and original songs about his recent breakup. Catch a dose of classic rock on Saturday nights with that band fronted by that chick you knew in high school who's still pretty hot after a couple drinks. Sunday afternoons, it's three old guys and a hipster doing their very best to play jazz. And don't miss the big hot Sunday dance party with your DJ, the bartender's second wife's stepson with those weird things in his ears. It's all happening this weekend at that bar near your house. Not too far to drive, just a little too far to walk. We'll see you there.
Well, that'll do it for me today. I'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new show. Hope you join me then, but until that time arrives, I wish you peace.